They are committed to you, and they're already devoted to you. Does that sound like a love story that you want to make true? If yes, then you are in the right place because you can do it. With the law of assumption, you can make it happen, as countless people have already made it happen and it has become true in their reality. It is definitely possible to make them fall in love with you, and I will show you how you can do it. I know how it feels when the one you love doesn't want you anymore. The one you want starts ignoring you and making excuses to get away from you. It feels hurtful. It feels as if you are no longer important in their life and you lost them forever. But it isn't true. What if all of this is happening so that you can realize how powerful you are? What if, in the upcoming weeks and months, they come back to you and tell you that they want you and miss you? Yes, it can happen, and I will exactly tell you how you can do it. But first, I want you to just sit in silence and analyze your past. You have to analyze how your relationship began. I want you to go down memory lane when it all started. Then, I want you to go to a point when things started going wrong that led to your separation. You can pause the video. Now, when you come back, you will have witnessed a story in your mind. A story that is unique to you. A story that you tell yourself and others when the topic of relationships comes up. A story that you are repeating in your head. This story consists of two phases. One where your specific person was in love with you and the other where they started making excuses to maintain a distance from you. If you truly analyze the first phase of the story, then you will realize that at that time you were a totally chill person who had a high level of self-worth. You had this confidence within you, and you found yourself to be an attractive person. This is the time when you spoke softly and positively about yourself. In short, you had a higher concept of yourself that manifested a relationship with a specific person. When the second phase started, you were a different person. Your concepts about yourself changed. Maybe you started having doubts and became insecure. Maybe you started comparing yourself with others. Maybe you started viewing yourself as lower than your partner. When that happened, you became needy and wanted assurance from your partner. You wanted them to tell you how beautiful you are, that they loved you, and whatnot. Also, this led you to a place where you became a desperate person, and this energy of yours pushed that specific person away from you. They started making excuses to stay away from you. And this is how all the misery started. And this is how you came to my channel, seeking advice to change the relationship dynamics between you and your specific person. Does that sound similar to the story you are telling yourself in your mind? 90% of people have ruined their relationships because they started lowering the concepts they hold about themselves. Almost everyone lowers their concepts about themselves at some point in time, and that is very normal. But the problem arises when they start persisting in these lower concepts about themselves. This happens when they constantly view themselves as someone who has a lower value. This is how things start going south. But don't worry, you can stop it right now and even make a 180-degree shift from this point onwards. All it requires is your commitment to becoming a better version of yourself. From this point on, I want you to relax and start living as if they are already in a relationship with you. Living from the end, thinking from the end, and feeling from the end of already having your desire is what manifestation is all about. It is the law of assumption. As you change your assumption, the world around you changes. Right now, you are thinking as if you are single and your specific person does not want you. You are paying attention to the stories of the past. You are focusing on the negative scenarios and persisting in them. You are doing the opposite of what needs to be done. So, take a break from your old thinking pattern and start investing your thoughts in a better situation. Start investing your thoughts in a better story. Start telling yourself how wonderful things are in your life, how attractive and good-looking you are. You have to start giving yourself the assurance that you gave yourself when your relationship began. Your goal is not to get a specific person, but to become the version of yourself that is better than the previous version of yourself. In doing so, you succeed, and a specific person gets attracted to you. They get interested in you, and then they get committed to you. All of this starts when you start imagining. All this happens when you have a positive attitude. When you talk positively about yourself internally. You start doing techniques that connect you to a state of consciousness where you are whole and complete within yourself. The one who realizes this one thing manifests all of their desires in their reality. You have to understand that you are affirming and imagining only to change your state of consciousness. You only need to change your state of consciousness. When you land up in this state of consciousness, you make it a dominant state within you. You get all the physical things and people in your reality that match that state of yours. You don't get the state by having that person. You get that person by having that state. When you enter that state and stay there, you get everything that state has to offer and even more. I know that specific person means a lot to you. But if you don't feel the love within you when you hold grudges and hate towards that person, then you are entering a state of consciousness where those things are true for you. And this is how this person is appearing in your reality, ignoring you. When you change your state of consciousness, you rise to a higher state where you feel loved, wanted, respected, and important. Then not only your specific person but more people and things come to you to show you exactly what you are doing internally. You are not affirming to get that person. You are affirming to get into that state where you have that person. In the same manner, you are not visualizing to get that thing or that person. You are visualizing to experience it right now. When you are experiencing it right now, you are in the state where you have them, and when you are in that state, you get them physically. This is what the majority of people fail to understand. They think that manifestation is some kind of spell casting, magic, or some woo-woo stuff. It is not all of that. It is just about changing the way you feel in this present moment. It is about changing the way you view yourself. And when you view yourself differently, then you view your circumstances differently, and then you view your specific person differently, and then your reality shifts. Now, it does not mean that it will take years. It happens instantly, but you might witness it in a few weeks or days. But it happens instantly. It happens the moment you are imagining the scenarios differently. The next time, remember that when you are affirming, "Nicole loves me," you are speaking it to match the state of consciousness where you are loved, and Nicole is just a symbol that you are referring to. You are doing this to land in the state where what you are affirming is true. The key is to remain there. Manifesting is very simple and easy. It is not that complex or difficult. It is very easy. You don't need to stand on your head and rotate a few times while speaking some affirmations. You are not even told to do a backflip. You are just told to get aware of the possibility of having that thing or person by imagining it in the present moment. You are told to be grateful. When I asked you to analyze your past, I asked you about the story that you told yourself at the beginning of the video. I did it to make you understand that you get things, people, and relationships based upon the state of consciousness that you are in. When you held higher concepts about yourself, you viewed yourself as a person who could get anything they wanted, you felt different, and you were in a certain state of consciousness. This is how your specific person appeared in your reality. But when you changed your concepts about yourself, you started viewing yourself differently. You thought that things could not get better. You felt differently. You were desperate and needy. And that is when you entered a different state of consciousness where your specific person disappeared from your life. But you can change it. You have done it multiple times. You can do it now as well. Even Neville Goddard said, "A change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. Your world is your consciousness objectified. Waste no time trying to change the outside. Change the within or the impression, and the without or expression will take care of itself." When the truth of this statement dawns upon you, you will know that you have found the lost word or the key to every door. So, start rejecting the ideas and stories that tell you that you cannot have your specific person. Instead, start accepting the idea that you are already in a relationship with your specific person, and that you are viewing yourself as someone who has very high self-worth. All that is required of you is to change your internal world. All changes have to take place within, and then the external world changes. There are many techniques that can help you change this inner world. I find relaxing and surrendering to the affirmation tapes to be the most easy and effective. I have created one such affirmation tape video that will help you manifest your specific person. Just click on the first video that appears at the end of the screen.